Good morning, Chef Brendan.
Hey, good morning, Farmer Brian.
What's going on here?
You requested soup, and I think we're going to make a soup today that's not one of the most common soups you probably ever had or heard of, but it's been around for a very, very, very long time. It's even considered ancient. First up, we need some beets. Beets are going to be the star ingredient of the soup, so we got a bunch in here. Nice, beautiful beet. I see some carrots over here. There we go.
Great. There you go. That's a nice, well-proportioned beet.
Yeah. Oh, here's the one I wanted.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Farmer Brian, we just need one more ingredient for our soup, and that is cabbage. Flat leaf cabbage. And we're just going to grab a few leaves. I'm going to take them right off the top of the bag. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
So we'll head in.
Great. All right, Chef Brendan. What's going on here?
So we had all those beets we picked from the garden, and we're going to make that soup we were talking about. A soup with beets as its main ingredient. It's an ancient soup. It's been made for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's called borscht. The main ingredients are beets, cabbage, carrots. You saw us get all this from the garden. I had a little bit of onion here. We got some radishes from the garden that we're going to use just as a garnish. And then usually you have potatoes in it, but we're going to use our turnips because that's what we have, and we know we can use turnips any way we use a potato. So I have most of the beets already prepped up, but I left one whole just to show you. I'm just going to peel it right. It's easier to hold and easier to peel when I just hold on to the leaves and the stems. So I don't have to worry about it flopping around in my hand. And also, look, my hands don't turn pink because I don't have to hold the beet. So I'm just going to take the top off and we'll save those for our saute or our salad. Just going to dice it up. Okay. And then we also have, I also prepped most of our carrots. I had a couple rainbow carrots left over. But here's one of our pretty carrots. I already diced up the other one that we just got from the garden just now. So we're going to take that and we're going to chop him up. Save the greens. And just cut him in half and quick chop there. Don't worry about the fact that the beet juice is getting on there because it's all going in the same pot. We got our carrots, we got our beets. We got our onions already pre-diced, and I already chopped up the turnips that we used before too. So a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to get the onions in first. We're going to let them caramelize and brown up a little bit. Borscht comes from originally from Eastern Europe, from the Ukraine. But it's popular all around the world at this point, but extremely popular in places like Russia and other areas of Eastern Europe. So onions are in there. I'm going to go ahead and get the beets in because they're going to take the longest to cook because we really want them to soften up. It's starting to soften up a little bit. You can see what they've done to the onions. Turned everything purple, which they're going to do to the turnips and carrots too. So let's get our carrots and the turnip so they all just start to soften up a little bit. That liquid that builds up from the cooking vegetables together will give the soup most of its flavor. So I'm going to put a little more salt and pepper in, and a little paprika too. A little pepper, a little paprika. And like I said, we're just going to let these guys cook for maybe 7 or 8 minutes. So our beets, our turnips, and our carrots and onions are all cooking up. So now we're gonna add our cabbage. Remember our beautiful flat leaf cabbage that we just got from the garden? So I'm just gonna roll it up. Cabbage is tough, so we don't have to worry about bruising it. I'm gonna slice it pretty thin. I'm gonna throw it right in. And the moisture in the cabbage leaves will also help to glaze the pan. Remember, get all those good flavors off the bottom of the pan. And then the cabbage is just softened up, cooked down a little bit. veggie stock. And what I like to do now is crank up the heat as high as we can get it. Because we don't have to worry about burning anything in the pan really, because we got all our liquid in there. As high as it'll go. And as soon as we start to see the stock start rolling, or just starting to bubble, we're not going to boil it, but we're just going to bring it up as fast as we can. You can see it start to smoke already. We're just going to cover it, and we're going to let it simmer for maybe 30, 35 minutes, and then we'll take a look at it, and we'll come back. Okay, we're back. We're just about done. You can see our veggies have all softened up, and our borscht is about ready. So at this point, what you could do if you wanted to is you could puree the whole soup and make it a really smooth soup, or you could just leave it chunky, and that's what we're going to do today. All we need to do is ladle our vegetables right in. Remember, it's a beet soup, so it's going to turn everything red that it touches, so be careful what you put in there. Not to spill it everywhere.
How do you get it out of your white jacket?
Well, you try not to get it on your white jacket.
That rule number one.
Yeah. So there we have it, a nice, thick, chunky soup. And borscht traditionally has a sour element to it. So you could dollop it with sour cream if you wanted to. But I'm just going to give a little squeeze of lime, because that's what we have. And that'll give us it'll brighten it up and give us a nice little sourness to it. And then we should garnish it. We have this beautiful French breakfast radish, so we can make a nice little garnish for our soup. Because remember, food that looks good usually tastes good. So we'll throw a couple radishes on there, and then we can even put one of the little pieces of lime on there. And then I saved a couple of these rainbow carrots too, because I thought that would look good. Just like a little. Just add some color to it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Wow.
Soup du jour, borscht.
Thanks, Chef Brendan. That's
You're welcome.
awesome.
Enjoy.
All right.